Okay, hello and welcome to another video critique. Today we are looking at Christina King's work. So I'm just going to start out once again by going through. We're going to talk about how successful the images are just as images, and then go a little bit over how well they fulfill the requirements of the assignment. And we're going to look at, also her written portion of her assignment, the 250 words about the images that you shot. So just starting off, these look pretty nice. I like this quite a bit. Let me see here. Nice light. Excuse me. Well composed. Well, and we got some nice wildlife in here. Nice. I like where you're going here. You were thinking colorful. So far these are very colorful. Yep. Very nice, very nice. Your daughter, the sugar skull. I like this too. And you'll see when we go down a little bit further, but there's some real nice detail in these areas on the larger size image, a larger size version of them. Yep, I like that you're working the scene a little bit. You got nice depth of field throughout all of these. I like the one skeleton hand. That's very nice. Again, good, very good. I like these more than I like what's going on the left side. So the right two, I think, are more interesting. It's more of an interesting angle, and it's also sort of a layered look to this. So you have sort of flowers in the foreground, midground, and background, and that sort of come in at these. They have sort of like these arcs of color coming in that sort of lead your eye back into the scene. That's very nice. On these, I like too, but I kind of wish that you would angle it down a little bit more so that we're not getting this little bit of fence in there. This is nice. Again, depth of field working really well here, and this sort of these natural things versus these more geometric shapes. Very nice. Let me just keep scrolling here. Yep, good depth of field all throughout. Okay. So for these big ones, I'm just gonna zoom this out. Okay. So these are the images that she chose. Let's see, two sets I chose were images of some wetland areas with trees changing color in the barn. Chose a wetland in the barn because they have a lot of colors like red, green, and brown, and some blue. I'm sorry, I'm reading from the comments that she left here, or the written portion. A few others. There is a good variety of highlights and shadows. I agree. Getting details in both evenly can cause you to have a printing issue. Absolutely, I agree 100%. In terms of this, a particular image where you'd have trouble printing are areas like this. So this is a fairly, for this image, pretty close to highlight, and yet there's still detail in it. Same with areas like this. Anything that's like a highlight right in here. The areas right before their highlights going into no detail, pure white or pure black, which we never really want in our images because we always want just a little bit of detail in those areas. Those are the areas that are going to be hard to print. Yes, I like this image quite a bit. I think it works well as a portrait of her, but I also like that sort of in the last view you saw like sort of the general thing, right? You see the face, you see the makeup, sort of the design. But when you get to see it up close, you see little things, little details that are nice, like the fingerprints right in here, and sort of the areas, the imperfections in how the makeup was applied, like areas like this. These are really nice. I think this works really well as a portrait. I like this idea that it's like a face, so we're like looking at it as a portrait, but then there's also sort of drawn on element that I just think is working really well. I'll back that up a little bit more. so I can really get kind of a overview of it. And I think that works. I like that quite a bit. Nice job on that, Christina. Yep, and this is one, again, that's working mostly on depth of field, and then just the idea that this one flower is sort of a different color than the rest. And again, this is an area right here where printing, you would have a hard time sort of getting that just little bit of texture in there. That's the sort of thing that if your printer is, you know, a low quality printer, or you know, your profile set right, can really easily just go solid black. And then, yep. All right. So I'm looking here more at what she wrote. So next she thought festive, images of her daughter at the sugar skull. I thought it would be hard to print. Yep. Yeah, she makes a good point here. One which I agree with wholeheartedly. With images like this, it can be really hard to get like a good white, because anything that's white like this is going to tend to pick up color casts from things that are all around it. We're seeing maybe just a touch of that up in this area, again, because you have the light's directional, it's coming this way across her face. So here you're getting pretty good whites. Here it's going to be just a little bit of a blue cast to it, because it's more in shadow. Shadows tend to have a lot more blue light in them. That's not a problem, honestly. This is good. This being just a little bit blue is okay, because again, it's in shadow. You got blue here. But yeah, I think this really works well as a portrait. You get a nice little bit of catch light in each one of her eyes. That's always important for you guys who are not, who are more landscape people, not necessarily doing a lot of portraits. You always want to have some kind of catch light in a person's eye. It just really makes a big difference. It adds some life to their eyes. It sounds strange, but literally having light in someone's eyes, a reflection of light, just makes them seem more alive in the photo. Yeah, I think overall this is pretty successful. The images all look great. They're all functioning really well. Composition is right on. The lighting is excellent, especially, again, in this we have nice light. In this portrait, I think the light is really nice. There's a real, most of it's really pretty gentle, which really suits the subject matter. There are times when you want really harsh light, or when you want very strong, directional, textured light to pick up like every little detail. You know, if you're taking a picture of someone who's really old and you really want to, you know, play up how old they look, you know, light them from the side. That sort of raking light that sweeps across their face is going to pick up every line. It's going to create shadows in every one of those wrinkles, and it's going to make them look old as heck. Yeah, so overall, nice work on this one. I really can't find much to complain about. I mean, I sort of talked about just framing some of these flower ones up above slightly differently. I mean, some people would be annoyed by this. It doesn't really bug me. You know, here's an area right here where if your screen isn't properly calibrated, if your printer's not a good printer, like something like this, will go white, will lose total detail. And like if you had a print of this, it would, and you didn't have a very distinct line right here on the edge of the frame, I mean, it's going to look overexposed, because you want to be able to see, even if you have something really light on the edge of your frame, you want enough detail that you can see the lines on the edge of the frame. That's a good way to tell, especially like if you're shooting something with sky in it, like this, or with a really light background like that. That's not necessarily sky, but and it tends to go white. You really want to bring back in enough exposure in that area that you can see that there is some detail there. So yeah, overall, very nice. All right. So now that we're at the end of this particular critique, um, in the comments area, please write out "I saw it." I, like you, the letter I, SAWIT. All right. And yeah, I was pretty happy with how many people did watch the critiques last week. Just keep watching them. And yeah, let me know if there are any technical difficulties. All right.